Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Grimm. Yeah, this one is dangerously close to the end of the month. I kind of forgot that February is a short month. As for another reason why it took so long, I'll explain that at the end, because I don't want to take up too much time, so let's get into it. Nika Say For One asks, any thoughts on Stone Toss comics and his NFTs? Have you ever heard or watched Pimp My Ride starring Exhibit? And favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster designs? Yeah, I'm familiar with Stone Toss. Not a big fan of them, and I'm already not a big fan of NFTs, so it kind of goes without saying too, I do not like his NFTs either. Fuck them. As for Pimp My Ride, vaguely remember seeing it back in the day. It was alright. Like, it existed. As for favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster designs, I would probably go with, honestly, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Like, they somehow managed to make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and just make it look even more sweet. And yes, I do sound like a basic bitch. Whoops. Then again, I'm self-aware enough to admit that I'm kind of a basic bitch. Anyways, but hope that answers your question. Dan Alek asks, best Yu-Gi-Oh! Rival? Kaiba, Chaz, or Jack? And do you think Adam from Ruby was poorly handled? If so, how would you rewrite him? Favorite rival? Probably Kaiba. I just felt like he had enough sass and intimidation to be a worthy rival to Yugi. Chaz was alright, but I didn't really equate him to a rival, more just like a side character / comic relief, sort of. My experience with GX is a little bit wonky, and if my experience with GX is wonky, it's especially wonky with 5Ds, because I barely remember Jack, because I didn't see much of 5Ds, unfortunately. So I'd have to go with Kaiba by default. As for Ruby, yeah, he was poorly handled as the series went on, and if I was in charge of rewriting him, I would probably just stick to how he was in Volume 3, instead of just making him a fucking joke as the series went on. Just make him a fucking threat, basically. SSJSora asks, did you hear about what happened with Shafreless Productions? To answer your question, yeah, I heard, and at the very least, Shafreless is okay, but still, though, it hurts to see their family suffering from this. Because it's like, it was all just, it's fucked. It's just fucked up. At the very least, Shafreless is okay, but still, I feel so sorry for the victims' families. Let's move on to the next question. Sexy Foxy Lady Commando number 123 asks, any thoughts on Seth the Programmer? I'm not a big fan of them, and the stuff that got aired, I think around the time this question was posted, and a little bit after, just does not help matters. Sure, it doesn't completely paint him as the anime EDP, at least in terms of recent stuff that he's doing. He's still not a good person. Sorry, but no, I do not like him. Commando Big Lady Officer asks, have you seen Mr. Enter's top 10 worst videos by Mr. Enter? Yeah, I've seen it, and it was fine. It existed. I don't know, like, there's not really a lot of stuff I can say about Enter, because I don't really watch a lot of his content nowadays. AntiSD asks, have you heard that the King of the Hill series will get new seasons or a reboot? Yes, I've heard about that for a few years now, but at least it sounds like stuff is coming out of it, / being produced, which is nice to see. So, hopefully it'll be good. I'm not going to hold my breath if it's not good, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Atreas licok, again, sorry for the mispronunciation, asks, favorite Megazord, silliest moments from Power Rangers, and which era of Power Rangers toys do you have? My favorite Megazord probably goes to, honestly, it's the first Megazord from Time Force, I would say. That was kind of cool, but then again, that's nostalgia talking, so I don't really have one outside of that. Like, most of them are pretty fine. Silliest moment, there's a few of those, but I think one off the top of my head is admittedly a mistake that was made. He was in Lightspeed when Ryan was basically being told, oh, every time you morph, the snake's gonna move further up your back. There was a scene earlier when Ryan was leaving, and he fucking had his titanium morpher on, even though he gave it back to his dad. So it's like, where did you fucking get it from? Oops. As for era Power Rangers toys, I actually don't have any of the Power Rangers toys. Largely because I didn't really collect them when I was growing up. I was more so into Pokemon or Digimon. So I don't really have any of those, and, looks like prices have been going up for those, so, oops. I'm probably gonna butcher this, and I apologize, but, Shuiro Fantasma asks, what's the most overrated anime you've ever seen? Have you watched Little Witch Academia? And what are your thoughts and opinions of licok? Most overrated anime I've ever seen is probably, Agretsuko, I guess? Sort of? If Agretsuko would be counted as an anime. Because while season 1 was good, every other season after that just dragged its fucking feet and just got uber repetitive. I can understand why people liked the show, but for me, I'm just not one of them. It just got very much tiresome. I would have also said Little Witch Academia, but I don't know where the fan base stands on that, so I can't really say for certain. Which also somewhat answers your next question. Yeah, I did watch Little Witch Academia, and I'm not a big fan of it. Personally, it just did not sit well with me. As for licok, yeah, I like his content. Good stuff. That's basically about it. ANGRYCOWBOY asks, any thoughts on Think Before You Sleep, the YouTuber? Not gonna lie, this is actually the first time I heard about this channel, but, it honestly just looks like another account where it's, what's the word, anti-SJW and the like, so, doesn't look up my alley, basically. CaptainFlamingoFan asks, have you heard that Billiam's channel got hacked, and have you seen Veronica's video escaping mixed smoky and alcohol? Yeah, I did hear Billiam got his channel hacked. I hope he did get his channel reinstated, because Jesus Christ, that shit is fucked. And as for Veronica's video, no, I haven't heard anything of it, / seen it. Elenh Karakiou, again, sorry for the mispronunciation, asks, have you heard the Cell Snyderverse to Netflix, and any thoughts on Just Jargon? Yeah, I'm familiar with the Snyderverse to Netflix thing, just, what the fuck? Like, really? Like, why? Just, why? As for Just Jargon, I've heard of them. They did some content back in the day related to AVGN, and, that's all I really remember them for, because, yeah, there's not much else I really know about them. They exist, I guess? Question mark? That's really all I can say. They just weren't all that interesting. BlaCkNuurseVVitchUi asks, what are your thoughts on the Mr. Beast controversy, any thoughts on the Peanuts, and favorite anime movie? Yeah, I'm familiar with the Mr. Beast controversy, and I think it's fucking stupid. Like, oh no, how dare he help those people get their sight back partially, because it wasn't full cure, but it helped them see a bit better. This whole controversy was just fucking dumb. As for the Peanuts, they're fine. I remember seeing them when I was a kid, but, not much else really stood out about it in my mind. And as for favorite anime movie, probably Wolf Children. Still one of my favorite movies to this day. Princess Fanlady 2000 asks, what do you think is the worst SpongeBob episode? Honestly, I'd argue the Sponge Who Could Fly if we're talking seasons 1 to 3. That episode was just a giant waste of fucking time, and it was an overhyped mess. Because it was, like, one of the big episodes at the time. And when it came, and looking back on it, I just don't see the appeal of it. Overall, I can't really say because SpongeBob has had a lot of bad episodes over the years, so it's kind of hard for me to pick just one. But off the top of my head, it would probably be The Sponge Who Could Fly. Fangirl Poison Ivy Girl Fan asks, any thoughts on Troy Levitt? Never heard of them, actually, before this question. But now that I'm looking them up, this is a yikes. Right, they were involved with Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, fuck that. Person, just fuck that. Mega Harley Quinn Fangirl asks, have you ever seen Blue's Clues, and how would you rate all the episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 from worst to best? Yeah, I saw Blue's Clues when I was growing up. That was good stuff. As for rating all of the episodes, there's too many for me to rank for this video, I'm sorry. I guess I'd have to go with just 2 picks then, like my favorite and least favorite. Favorite from Season 1 is probably the conclusion, I want to say, to Yugi vs. Joey in Duelist Kingdom, and my least favorite episode is, honestly, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but, It was the episode with Panic, where Yugi dueled him. Like, that episode was just so fucking stupid. Apologies for mispronouncing this name again, but Jim Kourtoullopoullos asks, have you played Pizza Tower? If yes, is it as good as everyone said? And have you watched Ben 10? I've heard of Pizza Tower, but I haven't played it yet. Largely because I already have a big-ass backlog that I really need to get to. And as for Ben 10, yeah, I watched it back in the day. I liked the original series. I liked Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. Never really watched anything after that. Omega Surfer Fan-Boi 2000 asks, have you seen Star Giant's video addressing my abuse? If yes, do you plan to make a commentary on it? Did you hear about the Twitch streamers getting harassed for playing Hogwarts Legacy? And have you played Atomic Heart? Yeah, I'm familiar with Star Giant's video. And, I don't know if I'm going to cover it because going through the entire 3-hour video just made me fucking angry. And I don't know, but I would not be surprised if someone were to commentate on it because that video is just so fucking bad. Just, Jesus Christ.
Buy this.
How do you fuck up a response to enter? Jesus. As for Twitch streamers getting harassed, okay. I think that they should be called out for playing the game. However, harassment I do not support because that shit's fucked as well. Like, neither party looks good in that situation. You should call them out, yes, but I don't think you should be harassing them. And as for Atomic Heart, I've heard of it. I haven't played it yet. Doesn't really look like my thing, and from what I'm looking at in terms of reviews, it doesn't look like a lot of people are enjoying it either. Oops. And, at least to my knowledge, the final set of questions comes from Fan-Boi X Jr. How would you rate all the seasons of Survivor from worst to best, and have you played any of the Power Rangers video games? Much like the Yu-Gi-Oh! One from earlier, I can't really answer that question honestly, because there's too many seasons, and some of them I haven't seen in a long time, so I wouldn't exactly be giving it a fair judgment. More than likely, I will be giving a more fair/honest critique as I go through the seasons. And I know this year I'm planning on going through Africa and Australian Outback, so hopefully at some point I'll be able to cover it properly. Alright, so I just did a double check, and it looks like I got all the questions, thankfully, so thank you all so very much for asking your questions. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Alright, now that the Q&A portion is over, I will get into the updates to explain what's been going on and why I've been mostly quiet for content. At the beginning of the month, I began work on the Project Chronica stuff that I hinted at a couple of times throughout last year. Got that out, it was almost an hour long. That took a lot out of me, and the fact that it basically went up and not much was said about it in terms of feedback or anything did kind of suck, but it is what it is. Not everything works out. But the project did take a lot out of me, so I kind of just needed a bit of a break. It was basically a case of, yeah, it didn't work out, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and I gotta move on, because the last thing I'm gonna do is fucking guilt trip my audience. I'm not fucking DSP. Anyways, so I just took some time off to basically, like, relax and recharge my batteries, figuratively speaking. So I did stuff like play Persona 5 Royal, which I finished. Good stuff. And also continuing with Twitch streaming. Going into March, however, I will get back into producing more long-form content, like the Video Brain Quato stuff, as well as, hopefully, a video going over Zeo, or even the Gen 9 list. But yeah, basically that's why I haven't been uploading much content. I just need a bit of a break after the Project Chronica stuff. And yeah, but now that I'm fully recharged, I'm ready to go into March to do some new videos for you guys, and yeah. So I'll hopefully get the Video Brain Quato stuff up in March, and also the Gen 9 video, hopefully. And, yeah, outside of that, I will be back in March with another Ask a Grimm, and that's about it. So, thank you all for watching, and have a great day.